Okay, everybody. We are so excited to bring on our guests for today. It is our first guests who are coming back on the show. So it's going to be so much fun. And of course, we have more Taylor Swift to talk about with you guys. Jordyn, would you like to introduce our guests?
Yes, welcome back. Not only our first guest ever from the show, but also our first repeat guests ever. Your favorite TikTok guys, Darriel and Ashton.
Yay!
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
What's good?
That was a great intro. Good
That
job.
was awesome.
Thank you.
On the spot too.
You know, we gotta keep it quick, gotta keep it
Professional.
Yes,
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well,
No, we are so excited to have you guys back on the show. Thank you guys so much for coming back.
We are very excited to be here. It's been a long time coming for sure.
Yeah,
Yes.
it has.
Well, it's, Taylor Swift has been our topic of conversation. I don't think Jordyn and I have talked about anything else for the past 2 weeks. Has it been 2 weeks already?
Almost.
Yeah, almost. It's
Yeah.
like a week, like
Almost,
10 days.
Yeah.
But basically, it's just all we've been talking about. We've delved really deep into it on our last episode, but we're really excited to talk to you guys about it. So we'll start off super light first.
Okay.
Tell us your overall thoughts. First listen to the album. You went into it. How are you guys feeling?
Are we talking anthology or are we talking about
The whole thing? The whole shebang?
I would say start with how you felt when those first 17 songs, and then when Anthology came out.
Okay.
I mean, I felt the first 17 songs were great. There was just a lot, there was just a lot to kind of break down and materialize, or just to sit with from the first songs. But it did set the stage up for the second part. But the first part I thought was good. There's a couple songs that I like from the first part, but the majority of them are on the rest of the album.
Exactly. Yeah. Let me pull up the track list.
Well, you guys were big folklore guys.
Right.
Exactly.
The anthology definitely gives more folklore evermore. So that 100% makes sense.
And I think the first part kind of gives more like Midnights along with. There's a couple country songs a little bit in the first part too. Like my favorite is Guilty of Sin off the first part. And then Fortnite is just so catchy to me. It's just catchy. It's so sad though.
I know.
They're all so sad.
They're all sad.
If you really think about it, I don't think there's one really happy song on here.
I'd argue The Alchemy.
Well, and So High School.
The Alchemy is very cool. And
or So High School.
Yep.
But my take on it was sad, so I don't know.
Yeah,
Fortnite is very tough. It's just sad.
Yeah.
But the energy is I would listen to it on just cleaning on a chill day.
For sure.
Yeah. But I mean, for the first 17 songs, I still have probably 5 that I would listen to on a daily basis. Fortnite, My Boy Only Breaks His Favorite Toys. A lot of people don't like that as much. I don't know.
I like it, but
I just like the rhythm of it. And then not listening to Smallest Man Who Ever Lived, just because that's very tough.
I can't.
Alchemy is tough.
It's hard for us to listen to some of these on a day-to-day, because you're just walking around ooh.
I literally have listened to The Smallest Man Who's Ever Lived every single day since this album came out. I am not lying to you. Literally, I was just talking to my fiance about it. He's sick of it. He's like, "Why are you singing this song so much?" I'm like, "It's not about you."
I'd be like, "What are you trying to tell me?"
Yeah, you're right. You relate to that song a lot.
Right.
Listening to it every day.
All right, now singing it kind of loud over there.
It's the bridge.
That's the bridge.
Yeah, for sure.
I think one of my favorite Taylor Swift bridges she's ever written.
I think Love of My Life or Loss of My Life is some of the best writing that she's ever done. Because
the first half to the verses.
Smallest Man Who Ever Lived is very much like a diss track, we like to call them. It's definitely a hit 'em up, but Loss of My Life is the same, but just put in a very poetic way, I feel like. So it's definitely some of her prime writing today, I feel like.
Yeah, exactly. That was what my biggest take from that album was. And we've seen other reactors or just critics in general not appreciate it. But I think for her as an artist and appreciating her artistry, I like what she did with just the original 17 tracks.
Yeah, me too.
So
Yeah, no, I know personally, and I'm someone that's been listening to her. Sam, I know you're the same way for forever. And this was one of the first albums that I've ever listened to, like the moment it came out. And it took me so long to digest. And I knew I liked the sound and I knew I liked the vibe, but like I couldn't, like I was hearing random lyrics. I couldn't put what songs they were with. Like I listened to the whole album once through and I actually stayed up till 2 and then listened to the whole anthology all the way through.
That's crazy.
that's so
No,
crazy.
it was
I
nuts.
could not do it.
It was crazy. And then I woke up the next morning and I was like, I don't know a single thing of what I just listened to. Like I could not digest it. And I'm pretty sure I heard that there's 321,000 words within this album. And I don't know if that's just the Tortured Poets or if that includes the anthology as well. But it's a very, very lyrically deep album. And then like you guys kind of already mentioned, there's all these like soul crushing lyrics with like the Jack Antonoff special with a synth pop beat underneath. And I kill myself, but you're like dancing and you're like, oh my God, this is a lot to take in. And Midnights, I felt like was her first time really being vulnerable, like in a dark way. Because she always opened that door, but then this makes Midnights look like a PG rated thing.
It's
just so extreme and so dark.
For sure.
But it's been a lot.
It has.
And for you guys who are kind of like new to the lore of everything, me and Sam, I know, always talk about like the story behind and like her relationships and kind of like trying to dissect where the albums go and who they're attributed to. Have you guys gotten a chance to do that? And were you shocked to learn that this album was more about Maddie Healy and that whole situationship rather than her 6-year-long relationship with Joe? Have you guys gotten into that part of it all yet?
Not fully, because it's like, well, I mean, first listen, we just listen to it, you know, just to hear it for what it is or hear it
musically
as a from musical aspect. But obviously with the fact that we did it on stream, there would be people who kind of like say, no, this is definitely about, you know,
a lot
this
of people,
this person and that person.
Yeah, we know.
So yeah, I mean, one of the biggest moments though that I appreciated that stuck out was when she, what was it? It's in the second half though, when she's talking mainly about in the Alchemy. Isn't she talking about somebody specifically in the Alchemy? Travis Kelce, both in that and in the second half with
So High School.
So High School. And then there was a third song that we tied into the second half, which was remember it was like all the warning, like
the Albatross.
Yeah, the Albatross.
Yeah.
Like the Albatross, like the way that she explained like relationships in that aspect and knowing who it possibly could be about, that was a deep moment. I think knowing that kind of helped bring out good storytelling and strong, you know, writing from her from knowing the story. So that'd probably be the biggest moment.
Yeah, because I think we're kind of in a place where we want to know the context, but just kind of like baseline context, you know, like people get like really deep, like he was on drugs. I'm like, okay, all right, now, you know, like let's just calm it down. But because I feel like we've grown up listening to artists who, you know, talk about relationships and are very real, and not always did we or like the people that listen connect them to real life situations. Yeah. So sometimes I feel like you don't always need to like wash it out with personal life stuff, but it is good for context. So yeah. I didn't even know who that was. Like,
you know what? As you should. No one should know who he
that
is.
way.
Yeah.
I didn't know who. I mean, I can say that for the majority of the people she writes about.
Yeah.
So
because I think they try to take it from her as an artist for like the people that she dates, but it's only because y'all know who these people are.
Yeah.
But there are artists who write about just as many exes, just as many relationships. You just don't know who they're talking about.
Right. So you apply.
So
it
you
to
can't.
yourself,
Yeah.
right?
So you can't build this bigger story out of it and then take it away from the person.
And I think like also just one last thing. I feel like people kind of just, oh, she's talking about this part. She's talking about, and the whole album she's very much telling you, I'm going insane. Like,
Yeah.
you know, I feel like people miss the bigger picture when they try to tie it down to earth, you know.
Yeah. And
Reality.
actually, I was really interested because I was watching your guys's like reaction on YouTube, which, by the way, congrats on 100,000 subs.
Yeah.
Oh my
that's
goodness,
amazing.
thank you. Yes,
That's
that was,
insane.
thank you so much.
We hope to get there one day.
Y'all will.
Y'all will.
Thanks.
Thanks.
But I was watching your guys' video, and I think it was just you were on Tortured Poets Department, like second song, and I think it was Ashton who mentioned like he was like, this got to be about one hell of a situationship, and I was like, it literally is, because Maddie Healy, which is appropriately nicknamed Ratty because he is just disgusting. We do not like him at all. Is just like this decade-long situationship that Taylor Swift has had, and like 1989 era, back 2014-ish, like for a long time. And if you like know that, and then you listen to these lyrics, Jordyn and I were actually talking about it on our last episode. We think that, like, I don't think she ever cheated on Joe with him, but like there's a lot of hints that talked about how she was like emotionally cheating, and like what the big one is guilty as sin.
Right.
She was like, without ever touching his skin, how can I be guilty as sin?
Right.
She's like, I never actually did anything.
Wow.
But like how crazy is that?
Yeah,
no,
that's crazy. Yeah, we need to get you on. Like, come on. We need to get y'all on, because that's good context. You see? So like when you have context, you know what I'm saying?
But it's mostly just like, it's interesting to hear your guys' perspective on it, because if you don't know everything, you can pick it out just by context clues without even knowing the whole story, which is great.
Yeah, because she's doing that well. Yeah,
for sure.
The other one that we talked about last week was Fresh Out the Slammer, because the lyrics, and Fresh Out the Slammer was the one that took the longest to really click for me, because the vibe is so like, I don't know, sensual, and it does got that little like country twang to it, but she literally is rolling thunder, he doesn't understand me, splintered back in winter, silent bitter, he was with her in dreams, like talking about how Joe's also thinking about another woman. Like when you break down the lyrics, you're like, these are dark, but also I think it's so coming from someone that was mentally completely derailed by a situationship. Like, it's so real to like get out of a long
that's real.
Yeah, it is, because like, by the time her and Joe were done, you're emotionally out of that, especially a 6-year relationship. Like by the time it ends, like usually when the relationship's over, it's over. The situationship, she's stuck in the what if, locking herself in an insane asylum. And you know what? It's relatable, and I respect her for it. We've all been there.
That's how I interpret it as well. It's just basically some of her most just gut-wrenching, like deepest thoughts put on the paper while she's just locked in a room going crazy.
So much growth, but with this freedom of the folklore, I'm trying to, I can express myself, but I don't have to make it as encrypted,
right?
You know, like, because I feel like folklore was her telling stories that she doesn't want people to know the whole thing about, so she covers it with this fiction. So it's like, as we get into the more deeper parts of my life on this next half, it's going to get deeper. But let's go into the piano real quick, because I don't want y'all to like peel back that much of how deep my life is.
Yeah. So I saw a whole thing about Betty being a real life story about how Taylor is James and Joe Alwyn is Betty and Maddie Healy is August.
Right. And that's why I love folklore the most, because it's a true art piece, you know, that can be interpreted so many ways, and you can run with, which makes it live, you know, and breathe.
For sure. I'm curious to think what you guys thought about, because I know you guys were mentioning also in your video, like all these different sounds, like she was coming out with like, it's like this new era, and obviously there's certain snippets of things here and there that are reminiscent of other albums, but then there is some new actual sounds coming out of Tortured Poets. Which one of the songs do you think surprised you the most, just in terms of like music and even lyrics?
I have a favorite.
Okay.
Right. But it does sound kind of reminiscent of, I don't like, maybe Evermore or something.
Okay.
And like I know what it's gonna sound like with this one being my favorite, but just hear me out. But I hate it here. Sonically is my favorite for sure. I'm singing that one word for word on the way here. Like, I love that one. Don't judge me.
No, that is one of my favorites on this album. To me, I'm a big reader and I'm a big fantasy reader, Sam as well. And to me, that song, it definitely gives Folklore Evermore, where it takes you to another place. Like, I remember when I heard that for the first time, I was like, I want to take a stack of fantasy books to a field and just frolic and read. Like, it really makes you want to like escape life, and it captures that feeling of like removing yourself so well. So you're so real for that.
I think also importantly, it's important to just say that when the same way that you heard the album like in its entirety at 2 a.m. and then you woke up like, I don't know how anything sounds. That's how me and Steven are, but I feel like times 10 because we listen to so much music that we have so much to like backtrack, and so we're about to start doing like, well, first impressions and then re-listens. So like listening again, feeling it again, because when you're like live and you're experiencing music for the first time as everyone else, it is kind of like time does fly. Time does fly and you're so in the moment, so and the way that I revisit stuff is I'll like revisit 3 or 4 songs at a time, instead of like, I'm not like 1 through 26 or what is it,
31.
Yeah, I wish it was 29. But
it's like a lot of music.
For sure. I'm not going through like, first track to last track every time. I'm like revisiting spots on the album.
Yeah, because it's like binge watching, especially this one was like binge watching the movie twice.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah,
like,
no.
It's crazy.
I know that feeling. I know I have a sickness. I have not shut the album off. Like I don't think I've listened to anything else, but it's been what we talked about, a week and a half, and I'm like now listening to it, like it's starting to like sit, like it's taken so much time for this album to like click and resonate and make sense and like to pull out favorites. I know me and Sam joked last week, we did our top 5 and I was like, this is my top 5 for this exact moment, because it's going to change in a half hour when I decide what mood I'm in. And like we mentioned, 31 songs is a lot. And I know you guys are still kind of taking it all in, but do you have like a generic top 5 as of right now, or are you not there yet?
I have a strong top 3.
Oh,
okay.
But go ahead.
I can give you a strong top 3, top 5, but I do want to hear y'all's.
Absolutely.
Even though y'all do have it out, I want to hear like if it's updated.
I think mine changed from last week already.
I think mine did too.
Exactly.
For everything for different reasons, but Fortnite for the vibes.
Yeah, I like that.
And this is in no order because it's too hard to put in order. Yep. The manuscript, I think, because that did really good in tying all of this madness together, of her whole career in that.
Really.
I'm gonna go with Thank You, Amy. 2 was that 3?
Hey, man, petty man.
I love that.
Down Bad, and then My Boy Only Breaks His Favorite Toys, because I just like the vibe of that one. But Down Bad is also very heavy.
Guilty of Sin is for sure in there. I Hate It Here is for sure in there. I really like The Prophecy and what that stands for. That one is crazy.
I have to change it again.
Exactly. That one is crazy.
That's so tough. Yeah, no, because I do like the Albatross more than I like Down Bad.
Yeah. So, I mean, those are pretty much the 3 that I'm like spamming right now. And then I would put the single. I'll put Fortnite in there because it's just a vibe for me. People are gonna be like, how is this not like in your top 5? But this is just where I'm at. It's gonna change for sure. Then to be honest, I look in people's windows, not in my top 5, but I just want to give appreciation to it because we love Death by 1,000 Cuts. And it's it's so close. And then I put Love of My Life in there.
Ashton, ours are super similar right now.
I was gonna say that exactly sounds like Jordan's.
Yeah.
Well, what are y'all? Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I have the Black Dog is my undisputed number one still. I cannot get enough of that song. I love how she just gets angrier and angrier and angrier. And it's also the growth. Like in Speak Now, she was like, "You're not your mistakes, and I hope you're great wherever you are." And in the Black Dog, she's like, "I hope it's shitty in that dumb bar with that young girl you're with." And I just love the energy. And then I also, again, no particular order, but that's number one. And then the other four, I have I Hate It Here. I have Love of My Life, Loss of My Life, whatever we want to call it. I have Guilty as Sin. And then I have My Boy Only Breaks His Favorite Toys.
Okay.
Oh God.
Boy Only Breaks His Favorite Toys is a banger.
Oh my God. And so relatable.
I like her, the hook, I like the melody on the hook on that one a lot.
Yes.
It's good. It's really good.
It's very poppy.
Expressing lyrics with a pop beat underneath.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. Matter of fact, let me look again. Sorry, go ahead. Do yours. I just gotta look again.
It's okay. No, I like it's like kind of the same, but kind of different. Like but Daddy I Love Him is like one of my favorites, and Who's Afraid of Little Old Me. Like those are the two songs that like if I'm gonna get into the car and start listening to it, it's one of those two songs that I put on immediately. Who's
I missed that. Yeah.
Is, in my opinion, probably one of the best songs she's ever written. Like, I can't get over.
Okay.
It's insane. So those two for sure. I'm Gonna Get You Back. I've been listening to a lot these past few days. I think it's just the beat for that one. It's just like it's a vibe for me.
Yeah.
So Long London.
Oh, I love So Long London.
Oh, I'll throw Peter in there. Peter is growing on me a lot.
I was gonna put that on my.
I missed it because I never watched the movie, or like I don't know the story. Yeah, I know.
Wait, you've never seen Peter Pan?
Peter Pan?
No, ma'am.
He hasn't seen it. I knew what she was talking about, but he hadn't seen it.
Oh my God, you have to watch it.
Yeah, like,
do you need my Disney Plus login?
Yeah, I will give you my Disney Plus login so you can watch Peter Pan.
Yeah,
it's so
sure.
good.
You know, like I do need to watch it for sure.
No, you would love it. It's one of my favorite childhood movies. And then they did a sequel, Return to Neverland. That was also phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
yeah, I've just heard it gets dark at some like iterations.
Exactly. Different iterations. Not the Disney, probably straight Disney one though.
No,
it's like
the Disney one is like it dabbles in it, but it's not it's not like the true story.
Okay. Yeah, I gotta tap in.
And it was one of those ones because like I watched it as a young kid. It was like my favorite. And then you watch it as you grow up and you're just like, oh. But it's really good. And then it'll also make Peter like really click.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I saw like a whole video, the whole TikTok that this girl posted about Peter and like the entire meaning of the song basically, and it was just like girls who are sitting around waiting for boys to grow up, and then they never do, and like they just sit and wait for them forever, and it just like their life just kind of falls apart around them waiting for this boy that turns 25 and is still like not acting like the way they want them to be acting.
Right.
It's like a whole thing. So it's that one has really grown on me. I feel like those last like 5 songs, I had to like really go back and listen to them because when the album came out, it was like I was stuck up top and then I was like trying to make my way down.
Yeah.
It's like that, Cassandra, like all those ones down at the bottom.
Robin gets left out for
Robin,
me a lot.
I feel like I've listened to that song 3 times maybe.
Yeah. And every time I listen to it, I'm like, this is great, but I just never make it all the way back down yet.
Yeah, I feel you. I feel there's only so much time in a day, you know?
Right.
And it's a lot of songs.
It's a lot of
That's what makes it so good. Like as an album, if you ask like us to give a top 5, okay, top 5 for what reason? Like if you know, like okay, top 5 best writing, top 5 best vibe, top 5. Like there's a bunch of different ones because, like you said, like you writing wise, you could put Peter Albatross in there, manuscript and like Loss of My Life, and that might even be like at least you probably have to do like 7 instead of 5 or something like that.
Yeah.
For sure.
But like, you know, vibes, she also sprinkles that in there really well. So yeah.
I know you guys weren't really digging I Can Do It With a Broken Heart on the first listen. Have you guys Has that grown on you at all? Because that was in my top 5 last week.
I've been seeing it on TikTok.
It's so bouncy. And like
Right.
you can't
Very
like
bouncy.
it's just like very like catchy, and I think that's what is like.
I mean, I haven't like re-listened to it yet, but I have heard it on TikTok a lot, and I was like thinking maybe I was a little too like on this song, but I haven't went back and heard it. But I do understand the messaging now. So
yes, the earpiece, that's what like the counting in the background is. It's like supposed to be her Eras Tour earpiece, and like, you know, the whole thing after Joe. But
that's fire.
No, it's I mean, like, there's no bad song on the album, to be honest. Like, there's nothing bad about it. It's just a matter of like which one you prefer more.
Yes.
But like, favorite songs aside, is there a song that like you just like can't stop singing? Because like last week Jordan and I were singing Down Bad at like every single moment in time. Like, we did like a live stream for the NFL draft last week, and we were just like, now I'm down bad crying at the gym, and like every 2 seconds it was like disruptive. Is there anyone that's like getting stuck in your head?
Fortnite and I Hate It Here.
Yeah, Fortnite and the Black Dog, but I'll give an honorable mention to So High School though.
Yeah,
I love that one personally. I like how in the album she touched on almost every vibe she's ever done a little bit, or gave some type of homage to it.
No, that's so real, because I feel like this is the most Taylor Swift album that she's like ever put out. And I think that goes off what you were saying with like, it really does tell, like, it has like the storytelling and the dramatics of like her first couple eras, but then it has the writing and the lyricism and like the poeticness of her more mature eras tied together with this like country, folky, pop synth vibe. So like it really does hit everything.
Yeah.
Right. And that's why I thought that she was like might be coming full circle to a close a little bit with that, because to go from You Belong With Me to like So High School, you know, like you're really trying to close the loop with that and say that, you know, that was a full journey.
I think she did that like with the manuscript in general. She kind of like tied up a lot.
Right.
I think for one, I personally think that she needs a break, like needs to just, you know, let this album sit for a little bit, because it is so heavy and like dense, you know. And then like to be able to go into the future with creating like new sounds and themed out projects, you know, because I feel like she's super loyal to her producers and to the way she creates music in general, that I feel like it could get to a point of well, when is it time to step outside of some of the stuff I've already done?
Right. Yeah. Right. I think she and Jack's friendship is like very, very tight. And so she has him doing all these synthy songs, but like at some point people aren't going to want to hear synthy songs anymore.
For sure. And that's not like a diss to Jack or to Taylor. Like, you know, you're supposed to have a strong relationship. That's just how the world spins, you know, that people want new stuff, you know?
You know, my friends make fun of me because Midnights was literally my child. Like, I did not listen to any. It was like my entire top 10 was Midnights.
I know. I saw your rap.
She had 3 different versions of the album.
I know, that's insane.
No. That's insane. I was like, Jordan, pick one and listen to that one. What are you jumping around for?
All of us Midnights. And so everyone, like, I'm like, what do you mean? Like, you're over the synth? And they're like, everyone except you is over the synth pop. Like, we need, and my friends make fun of me because, like, between Midnights and then the 1989 Volt and then this album, they're like, you're winning. But everyone else is like, it kind of going off of what you were saying, like, it's time for something new, which I fully understand.
I think so. Yeah, I mean, she can keep doing what she's doing. Like, you know, it's working. People love it. We love it. But you know, you do want to see new stuff.
Yeah,
it is very recent though, right?
Yeah. And I think that's also one of the things that kept her fresh for as long as she was, because it went from debut Fearless Country to Speak Now. That was like the in between, then pop, and then she had different variations of pop. Then she went Like, that's kind of what she does. She takes on all these different personas and stuff. So I definitely think whenever the time comes that more new music comes, it's going to be interesting.
Think about that right now.
I saw people dropping theories that the anthology was actually a 3-part, and I was like, we just got a double drop, and now you're asking for a third, and they're like, it's going to come in 2 weeks because Fortnite means 2 weeks, and the Beatles dropped a 3-part anthology album. I was like, let the girl
right, yeah.
like the 31 that we have.
I don't know if I would be able to take in that much more music.
It would be beyond overwhelming.
I feel like the writing style and her kind of not really caring, about any censoring or anything, just being super raw. I feel like when you're just letting the pen move like that, she could have, 40 songs all, within this release.
Right. Because imagine if she dropped vault tracks and then there's like 5 from each side.
Right.
Oh God.
Forget it. But I'm pretty sure it was, Jordyn, you told me it was a original 1989 that she wrote like 180 songs or something crazy like that.
No, I think it was Reputation.
Oh, Reputation.
Oh yeah, she had a lot to say.
Yeah, that's a lot to say. So we'll see. And then that's the other thing. We still have debut and Reputation that will probably be getting at some point within the next 2 years. So God bless this woman. She's still going on tour through 2025. Like, it's just absolutely nuts. But now that we've kind of talked about like all the albums and all the eras, where would you guys say that this one ranks in your top albums? Like, would it make your top 5?
Yeah, definitely.
For sure.
The only problem is I don't want to move anything out of my top 5.
I know.
Yeah, it's up there.
I feel that.
I don't know where, but it's definitely up there because it's right up my alley, especially the second part.
It's top 3 for me. I just don't want to move. I don't know what I'd move yet.
Yeah.
It's so crazy.
I know.
Continue.
What I always have trouble with his last name, Aaron Dessner.
Dessner, yes.
Dessner.
Yes.
Sorry.
I've never said it. So
yeah, you'd be better off than me. I love what they do. Like,
yes,
I just love what they do. So, everything that they have done, I feel like is in my top 5. So
that's real. I didn't know what I was gonna do because my Midnight's obsession. I was like, oh, Midnight's is in my top 5. And then I was like, Midnight's is in my top 3. And then I was like, Midnight's is my favorite album of all time. I just like slowly inched it up. And then this one came out, and my top 3 are definitely this, Midnight's, and Folklore. But I just can't. It depends on my mood which one is my number 1. And I also need more time with this one to like actually see where it's fit in, because it definitely has some recency bias.
Right, recency bias, exactly. And now picture that, but have heard her whole discography in 4 to 5. Like, picture that, right? Yeah. So give me a couple years here.
Like 2 years. Me and Sam have had 20 to like digest all this. Right. God bless you guys.
No, we had that 5-year gap too, where she wasn't putting out any music, so we were just like listening to the same stuff over and over again.
Right.
Yeah.
Right, because those songs can sit and become the era that they are. Like, you know what I'm saying? But for us, it's like every month is a new era, so I don't get to sit here and
think about it.
Allow it.
Crazy. I never thought about it like that. That's an amazing experience, though, to be able to take it in. But I can't even imagine. I'm overwhelmed with these 31 at once. I can't imagine listening to everything and taking it all in.
A day at a time.
Amazing with it.
Yeah, just take it a day at a time. And that it's like that with a lot of other artists too, because we discovered so many artists like doing this that I'm a huge Billie Eilish fan at this point. And I'm still like trying to go through, different people's music and really take it in.
I have Ashton. I think you would really love. Have you guys listened to Gracie Abrams at all?
We've heard one song a while back.
She is my baby angel. I love her so much. She opened for Taylor Swift on the Eras tour. And she has a new album coming out. She just announced it today. She has a single coming out Wednesday and then an album coming out in June. But I think she's someone you guys would really like. She's got, Sam, would you say she's like I feel like she has a folklore? She has
What song? Let me see.
Yeah, I don't listen to a lot of like as much Gracie Abrams as you do, but I think it's kind of like folky and like softer
Yes.
kind of
Yeah.
vibe.
That's the vibe I got from the first listen. I can't
Yeah.
remember the song off the top of my head, but I do remember her vibe and
She
her
has
aesthetic.
a very like unique tone when she sings. Like she doesn't hit these like crazy big notes. It's kind of small
Like
sounding.
Billie Eilish, right?
Yeah. That's actually like she's like a good crossover.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we're about to start like ramping up the frequency of new artists, and albums that we listen to. I don't know, how is that gonna help with our overwhelm about songs we've heard, but we want to get to as many people as we can, because we love it. So we'll definitely tap in.
Have you guys been listening to Sabrina Carpenter at all?
Yes.
Yeah.
I adore that woman.
Yeah.
I think Sabrina Carpenter is like my Gracie Abrams for Jordan. Like
Copy.
I love Sabrina Carpenter. Like when her album came out, I was like, and then the Forward came out, like I guess the deluxe.
Right.
Oh my god, excellent.
I love
and
that.
Espresso, I know it's like supposed to be this
It's
pop.
stuck in my head.
It's cool. Yeah.
It's stuck in my head, bro.
I
I can't
can't
get it out of my
stop.
head.
It's unreal how catchy that
she's
song
good.
is.
She's
Yeah.
good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, no. Yeah, no. Sabrina's really tough because she'll take this like very like object and then turn it into a whole song and then play off it so many different times.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I love about like her writing specifically, is because she'll play off of a bunch of different like minute things. Because in a way I wouldn't have, and I'm a songwriter, so it kind of frustrates me. Like, how did you think of that?
Right. Like, because it's still kind of pop, but like she has very just in-depth writing still. So
yeah, she could be a rapper for us. She's just playing.
She
around.
could.
Yeah.
She could be.
Yeah.
Have you listened to her outros at all from all her tour? I don't know how she comes up with them, makes an individual one for each city, and they're incredible. They hit every time.
Yeah, she's got a good formula with that.
Yeah, she's smart. She does that like a comedian, like a stand-up comedian, just finds something about the city that she's in and then twists it. Yeah.
I want to know what that creative process is like for her. Like, does she sit down like right before the show? Does she like have them pre-written? Like
on the flight there? Yeah, you never know.
Right. Like, when does she do this? Does she just think of it off the top of her? Like, is she just freestyling her outro?
Right.
That would be insane.
I'd give her so much respect if she was doing that.
Right. I love the single, and my favorite song by her to this day is "Read Your Mind." That's what I listen to more than any song she's ever put out.
So good. So good.
Indeed.
On that album, I think "Things I Wish You Said" for me is probably one of my favorite songs ever. Like, that is the song. Like,
I think that was maybe the first one we did.
Oh, was it?
I think so.
We probably did like Feather and Nonsense.
Nah.
From Sabrina?
Nah, we did like a real tough one first, and then the next one was Nonsense, I think.
Yeah, we probably did like a spin or something.
Yeah.
I remember
that song hurts my feelings.
I remember you guys doing one of the songs. I forget the name of it, but it's the one that's like
How Many Things.
How Many Things? Yes.
That's the first one we did.
When she's like, you used a fork once. Yeah. Forks are fucking everywhere. And
right. See,
what are you saying, woman?
That's what he's saying.
That's what I'm saying.
That's what Steve is saying.
And you're just like, but it makes sense. It's
Yes.
like you're thinking about someone and you're thinking about how they used a fork.
Right.
It's crazy.
It'd be like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, she's fun. Like she puts a whole new respect on artists because it's like, wasn't she Disney? Or no?
Yeah.
Wasn't she like a child? Like she was an actress?
Yes.
Was she that?
She was a Disney
Disney
girl.
Channel.
So is Olivia too. So it's like
they're breaking that stigma.
It doesn't matter anymore. It doesn't matter anymore.
They're
very well respected. Like between us and in our respective households. Like I have the vinyl for every album that we just mentioned, like Guts, Sour, Happier Than Ever.
And you have the Sabrina one too, right?
I don't have the Sabrina one, but I need that. Do you have it?
I think so.
We have one.
Between the two of you, we got it.
Yeah, we've got it. So, and the like Harry's House and stuff like that. So we do have real love for a lot of these albums that we have encountered.
Harry Styles is a vibe, man. He's a whole vibe.
I
Like
can't
he's
wait.
a different type of vibe.
He is.
Yeah. For sure.
Very like 70s disco-y.
Yeah, he was more musical than I thought he was. Just he was very more like hands-on than I thought he was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he's a great performer too. I saw him at Madison Square Garden like a couple years ago.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
One of the best concerts I've ever been to.
Wow. It had to have been because before this I was working in downtown Dallas, and one time he came to downtown Dallas and it looked like the president was there. I don't know.
Yeah.
It was crazy. It was insane.
I was trying to get a car home after that in literally the middle of Manhattan. I think we walked like a good 15 blocks.
For sure.
Just to get away from everyone.
Yeah.
I remember me and Sam were working in Manhattan last year when he was like wrapping up his 2-year-long tour. Yeah. And I remember I would know if he was going to be there because I'd be on my way to work and I would just see sequins and feather boas, like big giant heels. And I was like, oh, Harry's performing tonight. Like,
right.
But I'm so excited. I get to see the Guts tour in July.
Oh, wow.
I cannot wait to go to that one.
Yeah. I love her. I'd be there screaming my heart out for sure.
Oh my God. And we tried so hard to get tickets to Sour and couldn't. So I'm so glad it worked out for Guts. And can't wait to see her live.
I'm jealous. I wish I could go see Guts. She was already in New York, so.
I don't know if she's been in Texas yet, but I'll definitely check it out for sure.
She has, because I have a friend that went.
Oh, for real?
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
I'm so sorry.
We're so busy. It's like, you gotta really pay attention to when people are in your city.
Yeah.
Yes, and especially now with how hard tickets are to get, you have to like be in a queue and like it's overwhelming. I don't do it.
For sure.
Yeah.
No, oh my God.
It's wild. But are there any other closing thoughts you guys have on Tortured Poets that you want to throw out there to the world?
I mean, I think she's like, the biggest artist in the world. So, people have opinions, but we were hearing about the leaks or something like a day before and people were like, it's bad. So like it would kind of be like our version growing up is like Drake. Every time Drake drops an album, people hate it. They take out like specific lyrics and like, you know what I'm saying? So I think it's a great album and I really appreciate just the raw, honest writing. And some of the songs just like are bops too. So I love the album.
Yeah, I agree. And like I said, I think on either on the video or on stream, when it comes to anything music wise, if you want to like it, you'll find things that you want to like about it. And if you don't, you don't. So there are some people who intentionally might be criticizing her music because they want to see and hear things bad from it. So for us, like without knowing everything personal about her life, we look at it we don't look at it from any type of bias. Right. We just want to hear what's good about it and want to hear what's bad about it. And we ended up liking it. But like he said beforehand, we were nervous because we were excited for the album, but then heard that there were bad songs on it. And then throughout it, I'm like, okay, so when's the bad song coming?
Yeah, because there's certain songs that just aren't gonna be for us, and like we recognize that, like we're not gonna pander and act like like some songs just not tailored towards us, but some of them are, and we still like them, So it's like
exactly
we're not gonna lie about like we'll be like that one was all right, like that was cool,
Yeah.
So overall, I don't think there's bad songs. We just like it. We like the album.
Yeah, no, I think that it was But Daddy, I Love Him, you guys said, like, if you like this song on first listen, you're going to love it later. And, like, that was 100% me. Like, I listened to that song, and I was like, wow, I fucking love this song. And I'm a Speak Now girly, so, like, that was, like, a very Speak Now song. And then, like, 2 days later, I was, like, frolicking around listening to that song.
It is a frolic album, huh?
It really is.
It either makes you want to lock yourself in a white powder what's it called? Padded room? Or frolic in a field with flowers and daisies.
Right.
Yeah, no in between.
And there's like
diversity.
No in between.
Right.
Or you know what there is? There's a third option, jail for murder.
Yes, correct.
Well. Yeah, because she was talking about, murder.
She was.
I forget which one it was that reminded me of the song off of Evermore.
Cowboy Like Me?
No. God. I'm fucking blanking. The one where
You
she
know which
kills the
song
guy.
off that more?
Cowboy Like
One
Me.
which-
No,
No, Nobody, No Crime.
Nobody, No Crime. I think it
right.
was
We're
it
saying that.
Fresh Out the
Guilty as-
Slammer.
Oh, maybe it was. No.
What was it?
Fortnite, she literally says,
I want to kill her.
cheating.
Yeah.
I want to kill her. Yeah.
I was gonna say it. I was like, intro.
yeah.
Right.
There was also, I don't know if you guys saw this. I saw a meme of people like pretending to be Jack Antonoff when she's like reading them the lyrics. And it's like, yeah, like down bad crying at the gym. Fuck it. If I can't have him, I might just die. And Jack's like, ooh, I'll put a nice beat to that. Like,
right.
like,
You know,
sorry,
right.
his lyrics. And then he's like, do you mean that? And she's like, no. Like,
right. So, you know, now you kind of see how I feel about the first half's production, you know, because like Aaron on the second half, I hate it here. It's so sad, but it is bumpy, but in like a sad way.
Yeah.
You get what I mean? Like, I don't know.
Right. 'cause
No,
what
I
was
think
it?
it's very
I think-
fair. You can literally tell which ones are Aaron Dessner and which ones are Jack.
For
Mhm.
sure. For
Well,
sure.
What was it? Which one is it? Is it Tortured Poets where she says like you told Lucy like you'd kill yourself if I left, and then I
yeah.
also told Jack that too. So it's like she's having these conversations with him. Like she's like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna kill myself if
Right.
this ratty ass man leaves me. and,
Right.
like,
Such a
Jack-
crazy space to put yourself in.
It's so crazy. Jack also spills all the tea.
He
Like,
does.
I remember when You're Losing Me came out and everyone was like, holy fucks. That was like right after all the Joe stuff. And Jack was like, put on his story, like, oh yeah, she actually wrote this 2 years ago. Here's the day that she wrote it. So we're like,
Yeah.
oh my God, she's been feeling this way for like 2 years. And then when
Right.
this album
Hello?
came out, Jack put up a bunch of pictures of the day they wrote each album, and we could like piece
I
together
saw
the timeline of like when Joe broke up, when her and Maddie broke up, when she started dating Travis.
he knows exactly what he's
He
saw
doing.
knows
that.
exactly.
that's
and he's
marketing.
loving it. He eats it up.
That's funny. I didn't know that.
I've seen 'cause I've seen that specifically of like them having her walk out of, I don't know what she was walking out of, like a restaurant or something. I don't
No,
know, but
It was her recording studio that she
Right.
always goes to in New York.
yeah.
He's the feds for that. Why is he
Crazy.
dropping dates is crazy. This is the exact day.
Yes.
I think he's just messy. I think
Yeah, I think it's messy. Yeah, that's messy. But
he
you know,
also will post TikToks of him just talking, but he'll remove the audio and like put a song over it. And like people sit there and they try to read his lips. Because they're like, they're like, he's telling us something.
Yeah. No, like they're nuts.
He's batshit insane.
Yeah. So that's why when she's telling him all this shit, he's like, okay, cool. I'm just gonna put a pop synth.
yeah, like let's just
Right.
vibe.
Right.
All right.
And then I'm
He's
gonna
not even
spill
writing
all your
lyrics.
drama for the
He's
world.
just recording their conversations and throwing a synth beat under it.
Right.
That's all that's happening there.
Right.
Right.
And I know
That's
you
funny.
guys, Darriel, you mentioned that you're a songwriter yourself. Have you guys ever seen the video of her and Jack writing Getaway Car together when they like finished it?
No.
No.
Oh my God, I
Oh,
have to send it to you because
Yes,
you
please.
will, watching it come together.
Iconic.
And they're just finishing each other's sentences and then they get it and they just scream. Like they just know that it's
What is it off of? Like, where's that video
It's
from?
on YouTube?
I feel like it's all over. I'm sure I can find it on TikTok.
It's just
Yeah,
a
for
standalone
sure.
video. Like, it's not from a documentary or nothing.
I think it was in Miss Americana. I think
Yeah,
that's
we
where
did.
everyone got it from, or Taylor just posted it.
Because I remember her and was that Jack? We're in the studio and she was writing a song.
I remember. I
No,
didn't
but
know
that
if
was about.
I thought it was a different song, but that does sound
Yeah, that was a different song. That was a song that was on Lover.
right.
So I don't think we have seen that then. No.
Okay, I'll send it to you. You guys
Wait,
have to
which
watch
one are
it.
you guys talking? Which one are you talking about? What song on Lover?
Okay. Because
It was one where she was standing on business. Like, she didn't like the way that stuff was going on. People were like the people that were being elected, and she wrote a
Oh.
song about it.
Miss Americana.
That,
yeah, it was in
that's
that.
from that
Yeah.
documentary for
It
sure.
was in that.
I just
Yeah.
don't know what specific song she ended up
Hmm.
writing, but I don't know. There's so many. They're starting to blend together now
Nah.
because we also watched the Long Pond like sessions, but I mean, even in that they were just talking about it. But
Yeah.
we've seen like which one had her like just recording at her home and then like there was like cats? Do you remember?
That was in that same documentary as well, I think.
That's what I'm saying. So I don't.
There's
know.
a lot
It's
going
really
on.
hard
Yeah.
Because that whole movie is kind of blending together in my head. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Wait, Jordan just sent me this one, so I'm gonna send it to you on TikTok.
Okay.
It's just such a good video, and it's like so real that
They literally did the Getaway Car Bridge in like 30 seconds, and it's just
that's crazy.
I just sent it to you on TikTok.
What does it say behind you?
Oh,
It's your
I
birthday?
have not seen
it was
that.
my sister's birthday. So you know how the album came out on April 19th?
Mm-hmm.
My sister's birthday was April 19th. So I had a whole Taylor Swift themed birthday party here for her. So it says it's me. Hi, I'm the birthday girl. It's me.
Oh, that's
funny.
But I haven't taken it down yet. So.
Okay.
I think it looks cute.
That's lit.
Happy belated birthday to her.
Yeah,
Oh no, you guys said that.
What he said.
You still love it.
Yeah.
We're actually having a Taylor Swift themed night on the first night of my bachelorette party. Everyone's gonna be a different era.
So you do know that?
Oh.
Yes, of course I know that, Jordan. It was my idea.
I don't know what you know and what you don't know, so I'm just saying no.
I had to get an outfit.
Okay, you're right.
I'm fearless.
You're
That's
right.
my era.
Right.
You know what era I am?
That's a good one.
You told me your debut.
Oh, did I ruin that? Should I not have told you that?
No, I asked you to tell me.
Now you got to switch it up and surprise her.
I know. And I already got cowboy boots ordered.
I know. Yeah, I'm wearing cowboy boots to the airport because they don't fit in my suitcase.
You know what? I think I'm gonna have to too. So
It's gonna be a journey.
Yeah, good luck. Good luck with that.
All right.
my god.
We have fallen off onto a tangent,
Mhm.
but we really appreciate you guys coming on
man.
again and talking to us again about Taylor
Of
Swift
course.
and the Blast.
I mean, I remember the first time we did it, 7 months ago or so?
Mm-hmm.
During that time, you know, people were kind of catching on to us. And a lot of what happened is people kind of like trying to box us in and claim us and, you know, do stuff like that, which, you know, it is what it is. Like we've moved past that. But an important thing is that we remember to this day is that y'all asked us about different artists we were covering and different things that we were doing. So we really appreciate y'all. And we'll be back for sure.
Yeah, that's exactly why. Yeah, he was telling me that because when I brought it up, I was like, "Hey, they said they want to do another one." He's like, "Oh yeah, for sure."
Yeah, let's do it.
Like it's like we appreciate y'all a lot
for sure.
Because y'all didn't in a time where everybody was trying to make us go in one direction. Y'all were just like, okay, what else? You know, like what else y'all got going on? It's just really cool. So we appreciate that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, of course.
Well, we appreciate you. You guys are so amazing. You are welcome whenever. And if you ever catch yourself in the Philly, New York area, we'd love to get together. So if you're ever out this way, definitely let us know. We can make that happen. And then before we hop off, plug you guys everywhere, wherever anyone can find you on social media.
Okay, bet. Everywhere, Darriel and Ashton. I mean, on Instagram, it's Darriel letter N Ashton, but we're working on changing that.
Yeah. Just search Darriel and Ashton.
Yeah.
You know.
And then you want to do your version?
Oh well, I mean, I'm Ashton off day on everything. I've started. Apparently, I'm like getting into book talk now.
Hell yeah. Oh my God, Jordan! I didn't even tell you. Ashton read A Court of Thorns and Roses. So.
Oh my God, we'll have to have you back on for a book talk segment.
Yeah, I'll come back. Yeah,
we
can talk about books. I read it I started in March and then I went to Colorado and then when I came back, I finished it in like a day. Like I read like 200 pages in a day.
That was how I read it too.
Yeah.
It took me so long to get through the beginning, but then the last 200 pages, I read it in one sitting.
For sure. So yeah, Ashton off day on everything. I'll come back on. We can talk about books for sure. And then
Darriel music on Instagram, and then Darriel live on TikTok.
Yeah.
Awesome. Gorgeous. Well, again, thank you guys so much. We appreciate it so much. Sam, me and Sam are clicking. If you guys like this extra special episode, make sure to give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to us here on the YouTube channel, and you can find Sam and I. Please, we want to hit on
do it now.
Subscribe now.
And make sure to find me and Sam on social media at the unsolicited_podcast for TikTok, Instagram, and Threads. Find us on Twitter at Sam and Jordyn, and then also wherever you get your audio podcasts. And me and Sam have another extra episode coming out for you so soon, which you guys will see so soon. And we appreciate you so much. Darriel and Ashton, thank you guys so much again.
Thank you guys. Thank you guys so much. All right, y'all take it easy.